It is August 19th, 2018. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast for SummerSlam. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Mr. Matt Morgan, Mr. Raj Giri. Matt, what did you think of the show?
I thought it was awesome. I thought this was so much better than I thought it was going to be. I thought NXT was going to slam the hell out of it. And but SummerSlam was very good. Really good matches. SmackDown did a frigging monster job tonight with their matches.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I had sent out a tweet before the Rousey, or actually before the Nakamura match, saying that this event has just been exceeding my expectations. I know some people are complaining about the squashes, but I'd rather see the Demon come back and squash Baron Corbin than regular Finn wrestle Baron Corbin in a regular match, you know?
All damn day.
Yeah, so the squashes made sense. Ronda Rousey, I felt like that's exactly what they should have done. She just run through Alexa, which she did. And then what was the other squash? Kevin Owens, clearly they don't have plans for him. And so building up Braun, I think that made sense too. You know, some of those matches had to be kept short. I think they did the right ones. I thought it was genius that they brought Braun out before Brock versus Roman, because then the reaction for that match, it didn't die. Like, I think a lot of people were expecting, the fans to crap all over it. It was a success.
They did all that. We'll get into that match at the end, I'm sure, but all the bells and whistles were appropriately thrown into that match.
Yeah. And it was physical. I thought it was really strong.
Yep.
I thought it was great. Well, I thought it was one of their better pay-per-views this year.
Me too.
So starting off the show, we had Rusev and Lana versus Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. Zelina and Almas picked up a win, despite what we predicted the other day, Raj. Did you guys watch this match? I know. Matt, did you watch this match?
No, I was still driving back. I'm sorry, from Hollywood, Florida.
Cool. This match sucked. So, I was starting to get a little nervous about this pay-per-view with this pre-show, because the pre-show was pretty bad. But this match, I thought Lana and Zelina Vega looked like they hadn't wrestled in years. They looked pretty bad in this match.
Yeah, and then we had the Cruiserweight title match, Drew Gulak versus Cedric Alexander, with Cedric retaining.
I thought it wasn't bad. It was just there. And it was just another quick finish, another roll-up, like they did in the first match. I just thought it was nothing. It was kind of a waste of time.
Well, and this is the one I was most disappointed with, the Raw Tag Team title match, the Revival versus the B Team, and our boys, the Revival, not getting the win.
That sucks.
It's clear. I mean,
any of them,
what's that, Matt?
Nobody cares about either of them anyway right now.
Well, that's the thing, is I think the fans care more about the B Team than the Revival. And so,
would you have predicted that a year ago?
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. They botched the Revival, something fierce, but but yeah, I mean, it was nothing. It was a this is what the tag division is right now. It's a pre-show filler. But the B Team, I mean, they are over, and not many tag teams on Raw are, so there is that.
Are they over? Are they over like Rusev Day over? What do you think?
Rusev Day over.
Okay. We're going to coin that. If anybody takes that, that was done out here on Wrestling Inc. We own it.
Yeah. Like Fandango's music over.
Instead of X-Pac Heat, we just named a new term, and it's called Rusev Day over.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, with that pre-show match, Rusev on the last pay-per-view was wrestling for the WWE Championship. And then, here he is. First match on the pre-show, getting beat.
It's a stocked, for what it's worth, though, Raj, this is a stacked-ass roster.
It is.
It is stacked with good talent.
I mean, I was just thinking about, matches you could take off the main card to make it a shorter show, but really, I mean, it all belonged on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. WWE Intercontinental title match. This is what kicked off the official show. Seth Rollins with Dean Ambrose in his corner and Dolph Ziggler with Drew McIntyre. Now, Matt, what did you think of this?
Loved it. You guys didn't love it?
I loved it. I really liked it by the end. I thought it was kind of boring to start, and then Seth Rollins did that inverted superplex, and that just changed the whole match. I thought after that spot, the match was just awesome. So it was a slow build, but and a lot of matches, that's what you're supposed to do. So
I was just going to say that. Exactly right. That's what you're supposed to do.
So I thought it was really strong by the end.
Yeah, and this was good. I mean, we've seen a lot of variations of this. I would have liked to have seen Dean and Drew get more involved with it, but Seth winning, being the new Intercontinental Champion, I thought that was a good outcome, and there's a lot of places they can go from here.
I did think what's his name would hold on, Dolph.
You did?
I didn't think he was going to lose. So I don't know why. I just didn't.
Yeah, I think Ziggler having the Intercontinental title spray painted on his tights. That's what Rick Rude did back in 1989 when he lost to the Ultimate Warrior. So I think that was a little foreshadowing. But,
yeah, you're right.
But it was a good match. Rollins getting how'd the ending go again, Glenn? Glenn? Did we lose Glenn?
Glenn, you there?
He's
coming back on.
There you go.
That was weird. Yes, it decided immediately. It had to refresh. After that match, we had the New Day.
Real quick, can you run through the finish?
Yes. Let me scroll back down because everything on my browser reloaded there. I believe it was with the curb stomp that he won, correct?
It was. Let me double check here.
Super kicked him in the curb stomp.
Yeah.
For Rollins to win. I thought it was a good match. It was really physical. The challenge is just that him and Dolph have gone so many rounds in this feud. Yeah,
I think this is it.
Yeah. So after that, we had the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers.
I gotta say this real quick about Dean Ambrose. He looks like he's in great shape.
He is. It ain't gonna last though. That's off the road weight room.
Right. Yeah.
That won't last.
If he can keep that up.
Yeah, it makes him completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day, a match that ended in DQ.
This was one of those things I didn't get. If you're going to do a DQ later in the show, why do it where it doesn't really matter? If the New Day wins the titles, it doesn't matter. I know they want to keep this feud going. This is what we were talking about, Glenn, yesterday.
Yeah.
There's no other tag teams for the Bludgeon Brothers to really feud with, so you want to keep this going. Just have New Day win the tag titles. It's not a big deal. But doing a DQ and then another one later and another title match, it kind of cheapened it.
And we get hot at them if they make a lot of switches back and forth, but I actually would agree to it in this circumstance.
Right.
Like if they had to do a switch for someone to win, then fine, so be it. You know what I mean? Let New Day go over, like you said. Let them come back, maybe DQ the next match, next pay-per-view. You know what I mean? But
yeah, absolutely. But that being said, the match was really good. The fans weren't that into it. They're kind of quiet, but I mean, these guys were just kicking the crap out of each other.
You got to, for me, guys, it's still the same thing, and I love watching big guys wrestle because it's really a lost art today. Like it's a dying breed of dinosaur. The big man, so I like watching good ones when they come along. These two are good, both Rowan and Harper, but like it's for me, I'm still having a hard time getting past that damn entrance.
Yeah.
It's gotten better, but yeah, it's still kind of a weird shtick for them to have. But they used a mallet tonight. Oh no!
But why they have mallets?
Yeah.
Who's walking around with mallets?
Yeah, the mallet
used it tonight. Right? I mean, we actually got use of the mallet. That was something.
Yeah, that was the. Can you run the finish?
Yeah. So Big E scooped Harper as Woods went for the midnight hour. Rowan jumped up with the mallet, knocked Woods off for the DQ.
It was a cheap DQ. It was like such a good match up until that point.
But Glenn, you think that's great because they used the mallet? That makes the mallet better?
It's like one time if Triple H ever just really used the sledgehammer and not put his hand over it. Poked it into someone's stomach.
Right.
Have you ever seen someone use a sledgehammer in that way, shape, or form ever in your entire life?
I can't say I've seen anybody ever really hit with a sledgehammer. No, not in real life. No, nobody does that to each other.
Or a mallet.
No. Well, with a mallet, at least it's probably safer.
Yeah, that's what I used to hate back in the day, like in WCW when Sting would always use the baseball bat because, like, man, that'd kill you. Doing it one time is one thing when you're thwarting off the NWO, but doing it over and over, not a big fan of that. Same with the sledgehammer.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens in a complete squash.
Complete. Owens got nothing in. It was, I think it was 3 minutes.
And he's the star of Raw, in my opinion.
What is that? That says a lot about how damn good he is. But again, WWE is really, like, think about that. Like, think about how many eggs they put in his basket of how damn talented he is and how much attention he gets on that show on Raw, right? How entertaining he is, right? They can always go to that bank of him being entertaining. Meanwhile, they just have him lose and lose and lose and lose. And if I'm that talent, eventually I'd be like, what the F? Like, guys, I'm knocking this stuff out of the ballpark every time you hand me a mic. Let's get on with this already. Give me somebody else. I can't be the 9-foot giant. I get it. Get me away from him.
Yeah, I feel like they've hurt Owens a lot this year. That doesn't make, him getting the briefcase to me made sense because you need some top heels and they don't have any right now. And he was the closest thing to a top heel and they just squashed him. So,
good call. Yeah.
So I was saying maybe they turn Strowman or Roman, one of them. I think it's clear now they're not going to do that. But yeah, I mean, it's just you got no heels right now, no credible heels on the Raw side.
Yeah. And of course, Braun won that match with the running power slam. Okay, so then we had kind of I think a big crowd pop of the night. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Carmella for the SmackDown Women's title. And this ended with Charlotte becoming the SmackDown Women's Champion, Becky turning on Charlotte, and for a heel move, getting a huge crowd reaction, Charlotte getting booed. Matt, what did you think of this match, and what do you think of the Becky Lynch turn?
Good. I think it's going to be good for her career. It's at a right time for her. The only thing, fans love her,
yeah,
right? But you know what? They've got plenty of other talent on the roster as baby faces. Charlotte only got booed because they were where they were at tonight. Let's be clear. And they saw a heel turn happen.
Yeah, Glenn, can you run through that finish real quick, and then I'll jump.
Absolutely. On that so in that match, Becky went for the disarmer, couldn't get it in, tries again, holds locked in. Carmella gets the rope break. Then Becky did the Bexploder, applied the submission again. Charlotte ran in, broke it up, and then turned it into natural selection, covered Becky for the win.
Yeah. So Charlotte pinning Becky. Charlotte wasn't even supposed to be in the match at first. So it plays in the story almost sympathetic to Becky, even though she's technically turning heel.
Yes.
And the crowd, they were booing Charlotte, cheering Becky. And after the match, when they were hugging, they were booing something fierce until Becky turned on her. So Becky and Charlotte hugged for a couple of times. And then, Becky just stomped her and kicked the crap out of her. And fans were going crazy.
And this is how I knew Natty was not turning on Ronda tonight, by the way.
Yeah. Because they did a similar kind of thing where Natalya got in the ring and was...
Thought for sure she was going to do it, but when this happened, I was like, "Oh, that sucks." Natty's not turning tonight.
Yeah. But it was really good. I mean, this match was way better than I expected. With not because Charlotte and Becky I know could always have a great match, but Carmella hasn't been. So with her in it, she did really good. I thought this match was really good, and then the turn at the end was just icing on the cake. It was
good storytelling.
Fans were into it. They were going nuts. Charlotte was getting booed crazy. Bully Ray tweeted something about like she's getting the Roman Reigns effect.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
she's perfect. Think about it. She's perfect. She's an all-American type of style athlete. She's pretty. She's tall. She's got the whole. The whole thing, the whole package, really.
Yeah.
So for whatever rhyme or reason, people sometimes turn around and crap on that, you know what I mean, as a baby face. But I don't think that's something like Roman. It won't be like that. I don't think so. I don't think it'll be consistent.
Yeah.
Maybe just a storyline with Beck, for the record. Sorry.
Yeah. Plus, I think it's funny because I think Charlotte's better as a heel, and Becky's such a natural baby face. But we'll see how they go with this.
This is going to be good for Becky's career. She's going to get better from this.
Yeah, this is the first flash of something.
It is.
So do you think they go Becky versus Charlotte at Hell in a Cell, or do they save it for Evolution?
I'd save it for Evolution.
You don't think they give us both?
Maybe the rematch with Carmella happens at Hell in a Cell, and then Becky Charlotte at Evolution.
I mean, you got to assume they're going to have at least 2 Hell in a Cell matches, right? Like a women's and a men's.
Yeah.
So which women's match would go in the cell? And that might be the most heated right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Rousey, I don't know if you'd want to put her in a Hell in a Cell, right?
Yeah.
So,
it's going to be hard for them to resist because it's kind of octagon, even though it's not an octagon, but
right.
It's corny like that.
Yeah. So after Charlotte was left down by the German announce desk, Becky left to cheers after beating up her best friend. That's the WWE for you. Speaking of friendships gone sour, WWE title match for the main WWE title, Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles tonight. Match that ended in DQ. AJ smacking Joe in the back with a steel chair for disqualification after getting AJ's family involved, and Samoa Joe getting quite personal towards AJ's wife and children. Matt, what did you think of this match tonight?
Crazy good. I thought this to me was going to be match of the night for sure. Until I didn't like the DQ. They brought us so far past that brink, right, of storytelling.
Yeah.
Like, you're so invested, and it wasn't a DQ where you're like, oh, damn, I want to see now next week what's going to happen. It was, you did all that, you DQ'd this. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I felt with that. And that match was awesome. I mean, these guys, their bumps those guys took tonight. Oh, my Lord. AJ got just insane.
That Styles clash on Joe was scary.
Joe didn't get his arm on there, and that was very close at the last second.
Yeah, I was a little worried about that one. But, yeah, this match was awesome. I actually didn't mind the DQ. I hate DQs in general, but I didn't mind it here because it played into that story that AJ just lost it. Okay. And, people complain about this match being on so early in the show, and I usually do with the WWE Championship match. I still do not understand why it didn't go on last at Extreme Rules when they had Ziggler go on last. But here is ending in a DQ, so it makes sense to do it, not near the end. So I liked it. It was this match was awesome.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think this now definitely for Hell in a Cell, this rematch would be fantastic between AJ and Samoa Joe.
That would be awesome. So
their chemistry is insane.
Yeah,
it's very good.
Can you run down the finish?
Yeah, so finish on this. Basically, AJ was pissed, knocked Joe from the announcer table through the barrier. Took out two staffers and then hit him in the back with a steel chair for disqualification.
Well, Joe got on the mic, right? And he had AJ down. He got on the mic, and so AJ's wife and child were, at ringside. And so Samoa Joe said, "Looks like your husband won't be coming home tonight, but I'll be your daddy." And that's when AJ just lost it. Beat up a production guy again that was at ringside. I don't know if it was the same guy as last night that got beat up in the Gargano match, but
maybe.
It was then put him through the barrier, took out staffers, nailed him with the chair, got DQ'd.
So speaking of something you could put through a barrier, I want to welcome a new sponsor to our podcast, BlueChew. So BlueChew, hey guys, you remember the days when you were always good to go? Well, guess what? Those days are well in the past at this point. You're getting older. Now you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. So listen up. BlueChew.com. That's blue like the color blue. BlueChew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know that they work. This isn't some herbal thing. It's not, it's like Viagra. No, these are the same ingredients. And you can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And since they're chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill, so you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises. BlueChew is prescribed online and shipped straight to your door in a discreet package. No in-person doctor's visit, no waiting in the pharmacy, and best of all, no more awkwardness. They're made in the USA, and since BlueChew prepares and ships direct, they're cheaper than a pharmacy. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment for free when you use our special promo code INC. You just pay $5 shipping. That's BLUE Chew.com. Promo code INC to try it free. And let me tell you, I actually got a sample of this. And when they talk about getting that free sample, it's not like, oh, hey, they're going to send you one. You get a pouch. And in that pouch are 5 of these packets. So you can really decide if BlueChew is right for you. I have no shame in this. I was on medication a decade ago that interfered with some things. And so back then, I took Viagra. And I have to say, trying BlueChew, this works. It works much faster. And Matt, you take supplements when you go to the gym, so your body can do things beyond what you can normally do.
When I heard that this was going to be one of our sponsors, and I've heard other people talk about this from other shows and things of that nature, and they talk so highly of it. It seems like this awakening, right? And I'm like, they're full of it. They're totally exaggerating. Settle down. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I told you guys, I usually don't get on you guys. I joke about sending me the stuff, but this time I was real. I said, send it to me. I really want to try it. And so I'll just put it to you this way. Mrs. Morgan goes, look, if Superman wants to wear 2 capes, so be it. I'm in.
And that's from the Blueprint endorsing BlueChew.
Sincerely, all jokes aside, I can't believe how quickly it works, honestly. And the other thing I wanted to throw out there, in the gym, like Viagra, Cialis, the reason that first even came on the market to begin with, it was not for sexual performance. It was for if you were to take half a dosage of Cialis, half a dosage of Viagra, in this case, a half a dosage, a half a chew of BlueChew. What it does do, it goes, if whatever body part you're training in the gym that day, you get a bigger pump from, because that's its job, is to force more oxygenated blood to that muscle that you're actually working out. So imagine what it does in the bedroom is all I'm going to say.
Yeah, seriously. Well, the way I describe it is if you do have erectile dysfunction and you take BlueChew, it will give you erectile function. If you already have erectile function and you take BlueChew, you're going to get a super boner. So
that's the whole catch. That's what I was so shocked with, is that if everything's working out up to snuff, this stuff is on a whole different level. Is all I'm going to say, guys. It really try it.
It takes it to the next level.
I promise you all, if I say anything on this show you ever listen to me on, ever, try this.
Yes. BlueChew, BLUE chew.com, promo code INC. Try it for free. And hey, you know what? Tweet at us. Let us know what you think. You can see right here, I got my BlueChew. Just putting your chew it up. It's like candy.
Yeah, you're going to leave the show early.
What's going to happen when we see his keyboard start rising?
Oh, crap. Okay, so in 20 minutes, no one's allowed to mention Elizabeth Shue or the band Garbage.
Or the Goonies.
Kathy Ireland in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, but,
Good call, Kathy Ireland.
I'm going to just sort of keep it together.
God, I'm old.
And look, like Liv Morgan, you got the blue tongue when you're taking the BlueChew. So that's BlueChew.com, promo code INC. Try it free. Tweet at us. Let us know what you think. And we thank them for sponsoring the podcast. And let's wrap this up because in 30 minutes, I got places to be. So after that, The Miz versus Daniel Bryan. Speaking of things that delivered, the story's going on tonight after The Miz won that match, lengthy match. Matt, did this satisfy you seeing the two of them in the ring together?
Yeah, I love this, actually. I thought this was good. I like the finish, too, actually. I mean, I still don't like seeing Daniel Bryan in this part of the show. I don't get why he's not the main event of every show he's on. But, okay, I like this. This is better than who was he working last? What was the dude's name? He's not even there anymore.
Big Cass.
Yeah, so, okay, this is better.
Yeah. I thought this was it was 5 minutes too long or something. It seemed like it dragged a little bit, but I thought it was good. I thought it was one of the Miz's better matches that he's had.
Yeah, he looked vicious in this. He did some,
Yeah, so I don't know if this means that Daniel Bryan hasn't resigned or if it's just this is a series, and so Daniel Bryan's got to lose the first one.
I took this as him not resigning.
Well, he's been saying that he's very close. He basically said as of I think yesterday he was saying he might be signed by this weekend. So they're very close to a deal. But if they don't have pen to paper, maybe they just decide not to risk it. But then Daniel Bryan was saying in an interview with Sky Sports that apparently WWE has an option in that contract. So they would basically keep him another year if they exercised it, which I'm sure they would. I'm sure they don't want Daniel Bryan going, especially with the Madison Square Garden ROH show coming up. So if he's got if they got an option,
if he doesn't resign, he still has to stay there for a year.
Yeah, he'd have to stay for regardless. Okay. So he couldn't go. He couldn't go in September if they decided to do that.
So then that's not it. Then okay.
Yeah, but clearly this is going to continue. They did that promo after, but the only weird thing with Daniel Bryan losing here is that Miz has been punking him out nonstop this whole feud, right? Daniel Bryan attacked him backstage, at the Miz and Mrs. set, and the Miz still beat him up. They did that little funeral segment. Miz still beat him up. He's been getting the better of Daniel Bryan each time. So it's almost like Daniel Bryan needed the win here. You could have Miz attack him afterwards, and you still have the series set up.
Yeah. I love that the Miz won dirty with what was that, brass knuckles that Maurice handed to him?
Did they ever actually give it to us what it was, or did we just They never really told it to us. I thought we just some sort of foreign object, right?
Yeah, you can never see it. So I mean, who knows if he even really had one?
It was done really well.
Yeah, I really like this match a lot.
I like the use of Maurice there too, by the way. I thought that was a cool twist.
You know, he needs her back. I think even seeing him with the B team backstage before this match, it reminded you the Miz is very good when he's got someone else to elevate his presence. Yeah, I think Maurice is fantastic for that. Maybe there's a possibility there in the future. But yeah, I thought that this was good tonight, and I'm glad the feud's going to keep going. So that was the finish. The Miz was out of the ring, got something from Maurice with a foreign object, ran back in, hit Daniel, and then pinned him for the win.
Yeah. So, you know, again, Daniel Bryan was beaten the last pay-per-view with the Bludgeon Brothers when he was with Kane. And just beaten here. I feel like he could have just used the win right now and get him some momentum again.
Yeah. Okay, so here was a great surprise tonight. Constable Baron Corbin comes out to the ring, and then who meets him in there? Finn Balor as the Demon. Matt, did you pop for that tonight?
Yes. Are you kidding me? Yes, absolutely. We've been screaming for this.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for forever now. You know, he didn't bring it back at Mania. It almost seemed like they just dropped it completely. And then, it was awesome.
It was.
And he squashed Corbin, which it should have been.
Which you should.
Exactly. You don't want a long competitive match. We've seen them wrestle so many times in the past.
Yeah.
You just want to see the Demon and the Demon kick ass. This was short and sweet. I had no problem with the length of the match. It was, like 2 minutes, basically?
Yeah.
But just dressed as the Demon, everything he was doing looked more aggressive.
Everything's different. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a main event act right there.
Yes. He's a main event guy with that when he's got that on. Not when he's got the big goofy grin, just smiling all over the place. That's not a main event act.
No, that's a superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he won with the coup de grace. Easy win. Great match. And please give him something from here. Do not let this be a blip and then back to this, hell, coincidentally enough, that he's been in with his booking.
Right.
You could put him in that main event picture and just have him say he'll be the Demon when he wrestles for the world title, and people will buy it. They'll, he hasn't lost as the Demon. So,
yep.
Yeah, and it's not like Corbin can just get his hair back, so his strength is gone. There's no competitive match to have here between the two of them. Time for this feud to be over.
Yeah, please let this be over. We forgot that Elias segment.
Oh, that's right. Elias came out, was going to play a song, and his guitar broke. I'm sure we'll find out tomorrow on Monday Night Raw who broke Elias's guitar.
Yeah, it was like they realized they don't have time for this. So
that's what it felt like. That's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah, like, hey, we got to end this quick, so just have the guitar be broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, no Bobby Lashley. I figured that would have been a spot where Lashley came in and beat up Elias, but
it's okay.
Yeah,
this is okay. He was off this.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Those segments don't do him many favors anyway.
Right. Absolutely not. U.S. title match: Jeff Hardy versus Shinsuke Nakamura tonight, with Nakamura retaining and Randy Orton coming out exchanging meaningful glances with the ring after the match. How do you think Nakamura looked tonight, Matt?
Good. I liked it. I liked Jeff is at a different stage right now in his career, right?
Yeah.
Like for the first time, I was watching it and going, Jeff isn't the exciting one in the ring for once.
No.
Like it's been happening for a while, but this was, I've never really watched SmackDown that much. But I noticed it tonight for the first time in a long, forever maybe, that Jeff was in the ring with somebody more exciting than him. Because Jeff, he does all what he can. And good Lord, oh my God, the Swanton on the side of the ring. I go, what? I literally yelled out loud. I go, what the are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Jeff, I sent him 10 texts. All caps, what the fuck are you doing? Excuse my language. Dude, you don't have to do this, Jeff. Not anymore, dude.
Yeah, that just seems so stupid. He talks about how he doesn't do the Swanton anymore at live events. He'll only use it at big events because of all his injuries and how banged up he is. And then he does it on the apron.
And I just got done saying, okay, he was finally in the ring with somebody that I thought was more exciting than him. I take that back, Jeff. If you're watching this, I don't listen to that part.
Yeah, he said his back is a little better in this interview that he just did over the weekend. But he's saying he's having an issue with his elbow, a nerve issue. His hand was asleep for 7 weeks. And it's now it's just woken. So the dude's banged up. I actually thought this was in many ways the worst thing on the show, not counting the pre-show.
And that's crazy because this was a very good match. I mean, this was a good match. It wasn't great. This was a good match.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, exactly. If this is the worst, it's gonna be. That's
right.
So,
no, you're not.
That finish was crazy.
Yeah, that's Swanton though, man. So Nakamura retaining is good. I like that they're letting Nakamura really settle in a little bit with these feuds. I think there was so much pressure in the feud with AJ that it had to be epic, and maybe that's why we were let down by what it devolved into often. But with this, I thought this was solid.
Yeah.
Then they had that Orton's music.
Orton's music hit came out,
Very
looked at the ring, turned around and left.
Thanks, Raj.
Yeah, it was like we need to get Orton his SummerSlam payday, but we don't want to waste any more time.
The viewers at home are thankful you made Glenn say that part, in case they missed it.
Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's title. First, Natalya coming out, paying tribute to her dad, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and wearing his jacket, looking fantastic. And then, Ronda and Alexa going at it, ending with Ronda, the new Raw Women's Champion, winning with the armbar. Alexa really just running away for most of this match. And then after, Natalya and the Bellas coming in the ring to celebrate with Ronda for some reason. What did you think of this match, Matt, and how Ronda came across?
Ronda's new eye makeup face paint looks badass. At first, I hated it because her eyes are her gimmick, her for face, and I was like, this takes away from it. But I was watching, I was like, well, actually, no, it doesn't. It kind of highlights her scowl more, actually. But here's the problem: she needs to shut her mouth in the ring.
Yeah,
her shit talking sucks. You ready? You ready to lose? Ready for a new champ? I'll show you who's the new champ around here. It was horrible.
It was.
For a girl who's a badass, you've got to be able to talk better smack than that.
Yeah.
Or just don't talk, please. Because she every time what's her name would run out of the ring, I'm like, oh no, Ronda's gonna talk again. There's 10 more seconds of Ronda trash talking and burying herself. Yeah. So it was just it was a little too much. It takes away from her badassery, in my opinion. But I did invent the makeup for some reason. I don't know why. I liked it. I don't get why the Bellas had anything to do with that whatsoever. But whatever. I liked it.
So they're apparently planning Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey for Evolution.
Why? Where did that come from? Why are the Bellas involved?
Meltzer had reported it today or last night. I guess the feeling is just that she's the biggest star, and that's not Ronda Rousey.
Are they high?
Because of Total Bellas and Total Divas and all that. I guess they just all the publicity she got with the Cena stuff.
Okay, time out. You're getting that mainstream attention already from your star Ronda Rousey.
Right.
Okay. So why would you not use one of your own, like someone on the roster that could get something out of this? And if it's somebody that you want it to be like up on her level, that could be 3 different girls. That's Charlotte. That's some others on that show. Natty. There's a few that could easily.
Asuka.
There's more that can do that than Nick Bella. Come on, she's been away for so long.
I agree. I guess they just feel like that makes it a mainstream match, but I totally agree with you. So I guess
mainstream just because she's in it, not be what's her name, right. Ronda.
Yeah, I mean apparently they feel like it's extra mainstream with Nikki. But I agree with you about Ronda's makeup. I thought she looked like the Hamburglar, and that that was distracting me because I feel like she looks like she's a superstar. You don't need to bring in Mike, a giant superstar and then cover their face in paint.
Yes, normally I would say yes.
Yeah.
But wait, God darn it, who was the guy in the 80s everyone always just made fun of? That was late 80s, early 90s. He had a reverse, oh God, what was his name? Fat guy. Cornette managed him for like a minute. God dang it. He had like a reverse mohawk. It was like half bull or something. Manitar. That's kind of how her face paint was now I look back. Yeah. But I don't know. When she made those mean faces, I thought it was kind of cool, but I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like she doesn't need that. Again, once the Hamburglar was in my head, I couldn't get that.
Come back from it.
Yeah.
I was thinking Eric Carr and Kiss when he was the Fox when he replaced Peter Criss. Very similar makeup to that.
Yeah, someone's saying the Repo Man. I kind of thought that too. Do you remember the Repo Man?
Oh, that's a good one, Repo Man.
But yeah, Rousey basically just kicked the shit out of Alexa for what, 5 minutes?
Not even that.
Yeah, and whatever that DVD thing she does is pretty freaking hot. I love that.
Yeah, her moves. I mean, she looks like she could tear your arm off, and she can. And she just looked aggressive. I thought this was the action was everything it should be, and I thought Rousey looked great in the ring.
And her, before her match, getting all riled up in the corner and getting all friggin' loosened up, it gave it that UFC feel that I get whenever I watch a Brock UFC match or a Ronda UFC match or a Conor McGregor UFC match. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's only hype you get from that, I notice. I don't really get from pro wrestling.
Yeah.
She gives you that aura with this. I thought that's cool.
Yeah, I know it's almost like when Brock wrestled Goldberg. You could have that before they started when they're where it's really building. And just looking at each other. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Man,
we forgot after this with the Daniel Bryan Brie backstage segment.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Daniel was in a mood.
I didn't see this. Tell me, what was it?
Daniel was in a mood. Brie tried to console him. Daniel had to be alone so he could hit things.
Yeah.
Are you joking?
I am not joking.
Did he verbalize this? Did he say, I need to be alone because I need to hit things?
No. He was much.
He said something very
nicer.
similar. No, he talked about like punching a wall or something like that.
It was really badly acted, like on Brie's part. I thought like Brie was like, "You've come back from this," and Daniel Bryan was like, "This was the match I couldn't lose. Like I couldn't lose with Miz." And Brie was like, "You come back. You were not supposed to come back to action, but you did." Yada yada yada. And then Daniel Bryan's like, "Thanks. I needed that. I just want to be around and kick some stuff."
No, it would have been funny if he said, "Beat it, Toots."
It'd be funny. After she left, he took some BlueChews.
And I need to be alone. I can't even look at you right now. Just me and little Daniel. Oh man, I think with Ronda, they got to give her a really credible opponent after this. I don't know what they're going to do. But just with her and Charlotte, man, storytelling is so important now if they're both going to hold the titles for the next 6 months till Mania.
Is that the plan?
I don't know. I mean,
that would be pretty awesome.
I think they should. I think like do a champion versus champion.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know how you do it. But that is a super match, guys.
Yeah, it's almost like Charlotte would. I almost think you have to have Charlotte get cheated out of the title, then she wins the Royal Rumble, and then challenges Rousey at Mania. But I don't think Rousey should lose it.
Is there any way they could both just be incredibly dumb? Well, no, because the Becky storyline just started, so no, it's not going to happen probably.
Yeah, they could do champion versus champion and not have the title on the line, like they did with Brock and AJ at Survivor Series last.
Which I liked that. I actually just watched that yesterday. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
that worked that night.
Absolutely. So Universal title match, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. They're both out there, Roman in the ring, Brock in the ring with Paul Heyman, and then out comes Braun Strowman saying, "Hey, I'm not gonna, sneak up on you or attack you or interrupt you. I'm gonna wait for this match to finish, and then it's
interrupt you." How polite.
Talking some smack at Roman, calling Brock Beastie Boy, which got big chant.
That was a pretty good line.
Absolutely. And with the idea being that Braun was going to challenge the winner and cash in the Money in the Bank contract for that title shot. So during this match, Braun got attacked by Roman, or really hit by Roman, attacked by Brock. And when Roman ended up winning, Braun had gone because Brock had thrown the briefcase and Braun said, "I'm going to live to fight another day." So this is how we got Roman Reigns winning in a relatively short match and doing a little bait and switch with the fans, making them think they were going to see Braun challenge. Right. So I think everyone was on their toes, excited for this. Yeah. And Vince McMahon, you bastard, you fool us all.
The beginning of this match was exactly what it needed to be, by the way. Like, I wasn't expecting it, But like Roman, like Brock was still like slightly distracted by Braun still getting off the apron there while the bell rang, and immediately Roman started hitting him with Superman punches out of left field, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit! I was like, he's gonna catch him with an early one here, and Braun's gonna cash in, right? That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
But then, Brock held that. What would he have him in? What was that? Kimura? Not a Kimura, because he didn't have his arms.
It was
some type
like
of
a guillotine, almost.
Guillotine. Yeah, kind of like a guillotine. I thought that was pretty cool. The whole match, I thought, was perfectly executed as what it needed to be, with two big, slow guys where the fans are cheering. You both suck, keep in mind. And they kept the action moving. They learned a lot from what they did last time. I'll give them that.
Absolutely. Outside of that, you both suck chant, they didn't crap on this match.
Oh, and Rowan, by the way, how are we not saying this? He got a pop. He got a pop when he won that.
Yeah, he pinned Lesnar. Finally, got him back in the ring. Lesnar had the chair after Lesnar beat the crap out of Strowman.
He wasn't booed, Raj. He wasn't booed with the belt in his hand, really.
And in Brooklyn, of all places, they went off the air pretty quick, but
good.
He got the win. He got the pop. The fans didn't crap on this match. They were mostly into it. Having Braun come to ringside was genius. Whoever thought of that, that was genius, because
it opened up so much.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's why they were excited at the end, because they thought it was going to be Braun and Roman.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I didn't. Yeah. And you know what? I'm glad they didn't do it. In a sense of leave you wanting more. Why do that match now?
And plus, they gave us finally the end of this story between Brock and Roman. Yeah. They wouldn't have done it that way if immediately Braun cashes in and wins.
Right.
Then I'm going, what the freak, WWE? You told me to stick around with this damn storyline for 3 years, and the payoff is Roman. Every time I want my Samoa Joes to win, or AJ Styles to win, Kevin Owens to win, no, it can't be, because we got to build him for Brock. He's going to beat Brock. That's always what we kept being told, and then he'd lose. I'm like, what the freak? You just buried 3 guys that could have been main event level. You know what I mean? And that was always the answer I kept getting from you, Raj, who knows what's going to happen before it happens, and others. So he's always going to get to the point where he beats Brock for the title. So they delivered that to us finally.
Yeah, exactly. I think they've been wanting this story forever. Roman finally beating Brock for the title. Yeah. To just have him lose it right off the bat to Strowman. Cheapens that whole thing, fine, And I think if you had Roman beat Strowman, that doesn't make sense either. That's something this is your feud for the fall and the winter, and you could almost not have them face each other now and do it at Mania, unless they got The Rock coming back or something. But if you don't do that, Strowman he's the biggest star that they have right now, so.
Wow.
For Reigns' next challenger, I'd almost hold off on Strowman until Mania.
Yeah. So the way that worked, after Lesnar threw Braun's briefcase, he went back in the ring with a steel chair in the air, and Reigns hit him with the spear out of nowhere for the pin and the title.
So what did he do to Braun outside? He hit him with an F5 and then started hitting him with the chair.
With the briefcase. No, with the briefcase.
Right, the briefcase.
Yeah.
And then he got the chair.
And then came in to go smack Roman with it, but Roman caught him with a spear.
Right.
But Brock, most important part of this match, folks, is Brock totally guerrilla raging out and throwing the briefcase 500 feet into the damn Tron.
Dude,
my God.
Could you imagine if he just hooked it a little bit? And
yes, that's why I was like, I said, my wife, oh my God, that has to be in the crowd. That's in the crowd. You know it is. But then I saw it at the thing. Yeah.
That's had to like that time he destroyed that car. Remember that? And then he grabbed that car door and chucked it, and I think it flew into the crowd. That thing flew. That's a car door.
His brute strength is insanity.
Yeah. He's definitely smaller now, but he's still in great. He's in great shape.
I meant to say that he's in better shape right now. At first, it didn't look like it, but as the match got going, I saw his abs popping out a little bit, and he usually doesn't carry abs. And his neck is a little thinner, and his face is thinner. He's getting ready.
Yeah, and he's not turning all red during his matches like he used to. Like he'd become a tomato.
And you do that when you retain water. He's getting ready, bro, for a fight.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Yeah. So, Matt, you feel this was a good end to the saga?
They shut that thing off right on the right time before the fans started booing them. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what felt like. We have to go off the air before Brooklyn realizes that
Yes.
Braun's not cashing in.
Yes.
I liked it. I like the ending. I like how they did it. I think having Braun cash in would have been doing too much. You save that for later.
Yeah.
You have that story now. Now you kind of want to see where they where they go. So.
And Raj, don't you think there's a certain trust, like I was saying earlier, that remember Daniel Bryan and Triple H, how long that took? And we were so pissed that they kept burying the guy, like they're never going to get there with him. They're never going to get there with him. Then Triple H, just wait, it's going to happen. And it did. So, like, there's something to be said for them saying, hey, stick around, just let the storyline play out. Because oftentimes they would pull the plug on these before the finish of what they would tell us we were going to get would happen. And that makes you distrust them.
Yeah.
And that hurts the babyface all the time because of this. And it makes us not emotionally invest in them because we don't trust the company enough to see it through to what they say is going to happen.
Because most of the times it doesn't.
Right.
Right. And even Daniel Bryan, he originally wasn't supposed to face.
Let's be clear, Triple. Yeah, dude. Yeah, yes.
He was.
See how Punk had to. All that stuff had to happen.
Right.
We're gonna talk about any news, by the way, while we're on here.
We covered a lot of it last night.
I didn't hear anything about the fat shaming.
We talked about that last night.
In our 2-hour podcast last night where Raj and I solved the world's issues.
Yeah.
Damn.
You know?
We were talking about, so you saw all that?
I saw the tweet and I was like, wow, good for her.
All right, so what Matt's referring to, for those of you who didn't listen to last night's podcast or haven't heard, Dave Meltzer made a comment about Peyton Royce. Now, I don't think it was about her weight. I personally, when I heard it, it sounded to me like he was talking about her implants.
Her what? Her implants?
Her implants, yeah.
I just thought he was talking about her prettiness in general.
No, so he said he preferred her in NXT. So in NXT, she didn't have the implants. Then she got it towards the end. And then he made a joke, he made a crack like, he preferred her when she was lighter or something like that. And by lighter, I'm pretty sure he meant without the big boobs. Other people don't think that, but
I completely missed that. And I like Dave, so I don't mean to say that against him. I'm saying that what I thought, when I heard it.
Yeah, so and then people just went crazy, ripping him. They ripped him to shreds on Twitter. So
we're in 2018. You gotta be uber careful with what we say. You know what I mean? You never know how people will take things. You know what I mean? But like in today's day and age, and I don't agree with this. I don't think this is right. I know you run your own website, and I know others do as well. But I don't think wrestlers should be doing things predicated on what people write about them. I just don't.
Yeah.
I think you do it off your ear, what you listen to the fans in the arena reacting to, and that is it. So, but today's day and age, it's not necessarily like that. We got an independent group of generation of talent that does rely heavily on what they read is being said about them. A lot of the time. The best of the best are smarter and they don't do that. But there's a lot that do. And unfortunately, when that happens, you would think one would be scared to speak out against someone who's rating your matches and could do something, maybe positive for your career by giving you a nice, whatever the hell it is, report or a 5-star match or whatever the hell you want to call it. And God bless her for speaking up on it because she felt a certain way about it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I have my interview with Cody Rhodes coming up this week.
Oh, nice.
And Ric Flair. A couple parts of my interview with Ric Flair are up, and the rest will be up this week. So,
you want to really get over with him? Tell him that I'm on the show.
Yeah, no, I think he knows. He's a fan. But I talked to him the day of the 1-year anniversary of him having his surgery, where he had a 20% chance of living.
No, that's good stuff.
1 year from that day.
Wow,
that'll be good stuff. You should do a 1-year interview celebrating when Matt Morgan pinned him.
Right. I should have mentioned that.
6-year-old Matt Morgan was going ape shit inside his head.
Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. I should have done that. So some other news. Asuka, I guess there's talk of her turning heel.
Good.
So whatever it worked for Nakamura. It gave him something.
It does. There's something about that, you guys, about being a heel that allows you just to let your hair down. I don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. A lot of people say it's because you go. It's easier to be hated than liked, right? Mm-hmm. But I would, and that's true. But for some reason, there's not as much pressure on you to get that harder thing, which is the cheer. So for some reason, it makes life a little easier. Problem is, a lot of the times, people start to get too cute and too fun.
Yeah.
And hopefully they could do it like Nakamura's doing, which is straight thuggery heat and trying to keep getting people to try to boo him. He does. He does a good job. He tries.
Yeah. And real quick, Matt, you know what? We should just keep talking to kind of keep those blue chews, the blue chew effect.
I'm doing okay.
Let's ruin Glenn's Sunday night. Yes.
I'm just thinking about wrestling, guys. You know, it's very effective.
I thought the saying was you're supposed to be thinking about baseball.
Well, you know, I thought this was a little more apropos.
Just a brick wall.
My go-to is Mark McGuire, 98 home run chase for Sammy Sosa. Mark McGuire, home run chase, Sammy Sosa. I swear to Christ. You're only going to hear that stuff here, folks.
Absolutely.
So real quick, Matt, your thoughts on did you get to watch TakeOver?
Yes, I did. I watched it this morning in my hotel. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. EC3, though, man, what's up? What am I missing there? I thought he would go in there and bam, like his character is cut out. It's ready. It's his. He knows it upside down, inside out. But there's something there, maybe because they don't do as much pre-tapes and promos. That's why it's not working as much. I don't know.
You know, we were talking about this last night. I also feel like that character doesn't work really well as a babyface. You know, being a 1%er. He should be a heel, and he's kind of been a babyface. But maybe he lost also because he's going to the main roster. I mean, he's
going to be one of those that Hunter would say is a better main roster talent than he is an NXT roster talent.
Yeah, for sure. And he's already been in NXT, right? He was there back in the day. So, you know, he's as ready as he's going to be.
And to everybody that said when he came to TNA, when he got really ripped up, he got in really good shape, and everyone was throwing out like the steroid accusation. Well, guess what? He's at NXT, and look how he looks right now. He looks amazing. That's hard work, my friends.
Yep.
Yeah. That was a great TakeOver last night. So it's going to be the high point of this run. I mean, tonight was good, but I thought TakeOver was better. And tomorrow on Raw, I'm sure TakeOver is going to be better than that.
It's different. Like SummerSlam, because it's 6 hours, it's not going to be as tight a show as TakeOver for sure, right? But as far as a 6 hour show goes, I thought it was really good tonight. It was, you know, and you had the big stars. Whereas NXT, it's a cult thing. You know, it's like you're watching a favorite indie band versus going to Bon Jovi.
No, you're right. Those matches are just like everybody wrestles like that's their last match.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've always appreciated about that show. And Ricochet, and oh my god,
it's great.
Oh my god, you see, what's the dude's name? Come on, Adam Cole. Yep. His super kick to him upside down. Guys, like if I even heard someone within a mile say, "Hey, I think it's a good spot where I'm gonna," I'd rip his face off for even suggesting it.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe how money that was. I went back and paused it like 1,000 times to watch it and go, oh my God, how is this dude still breathing? He kicked him in the esophagus.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, wow.
Yeah, the timing and stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
It was great.
Someone's
asking what you think of the name Mustache Mountain.
I hate it.
Yes.
It sounds like a porno tag team.
Yeah, that sounds like you're going to be wrestling on main event within a few weeks if you're on the main roster.
You're going to debut on main event. You know, you're never going to go to Raw or SmackDown.
You got to get rid of it. And I'm hoping, aren't they doing like a new NXT England brand?
Oh yeah,
yeah, the NXT UK, and they aired a commercial for it. They already taped a bunch of stuff for it, and
so do they separate them and there's no longer a tag team, or no?
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with those. I'm assuming they'll go to the UK brand.
Because the other one's really good and all. I forget his name. Seven. What's his name?
Trent Seven.
Trent Seven. But his body's the shits. He's got to get a better body. He's got to get better shape.
Yeah. He
now what's his name? Come on, was the young one, the young kid?
Tyler Bate.
Now he's awesome. I could watch him wrestle all damn day. I love watching that kid wrestle.
Yeah, he's great.
He is. He's strong as hell.
Yeah, but there is always that. We were talking about this last night too. You can be the best wrestler in the world, but if you don't have the personality, it usually doesn't work out on the main roster. So he's got to work on that.
He will. He was able to come into this at 18, 19? He will. He's already getting it there. He's figuring, he's trying things out, and that's where he'll get there with.
Yeah. A lot of support for you, Glenn, in the chat.
I appreciate that, guys. It occurred to me right as it went down that I was like, oh, I really just did this on the air. And
should have waited till the end.
30 minutes. Well, I like to get a head start on things.
You made the whole show weird, Glenn.
That's what I was aiming for, Matt. Just wait. Just wait. We'll probably have more of these to go. No, but this is great. And I want to thank everyone. Above and beyond that, we have the best chat room. We have the best fans. I think we don't say that enough on this podcast, but when I look at the amount of people that watch us live, the people that tweet at us, I get emails and messages from people on Facebook, on LinkedIn, that say this is their favorite wrestling podcast. Some say their favorite podcast, period. And you are all far too kind. I love that you pay attention to what we've been doing here these past 2 years together as a team, because it wouldn't be nearly as fun without you all.
Absolutely.
You're right. They're really badass fans, and they always. I'm always in the weirdest situation. It'll be in the weirdest place. Like I'll be like at something for politics, and someone will come up and take a picture. I'm assuming that it's Matt Morgan, the wrestler, Matt Morgan, the commissioner. They want to take a photo with, or just some really tall big guy, and they watch me from the show.
Yeah.
And it just I was taken aback by that. You know what I mean? And I ended up talking to them for much longer because. You know what I mean? To come along on this ride with us every single week, we're very appreciative of it. We do our best to entertain you guys along the way. Basically, which is just come drums down to Raj telling you what's going to happen before it happens and me clowning Glenn. But I'll digress. We appreciate you guys seriously coming in and watching us every week.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're funny as hell too. I'm like just dying laughing and reading the chat tonight.
Yeah, tonight these are good. These are good tonight.
Yeah.
Cool guys. Well, Matt, anything you want to plug before we take it home here?
Did you? Oh my God, that's such a layup. That's such a layup. I'll get it shut down. I'm even gonna finish that off.
Yeah.
Even that one I could do. Even that one I could do. All right. Yeah. Find me at BP Matt Morgan on Twitter and Instagram, on Facebook. Matt Morgan for Longwood.
that right there just says a lot.
It is.
And Raj, what's coming on the site?
Yeah, like I said, Cody Rhodes, interview with him, and then Ric Flair, the greatest of all time. So we talk about Hulk Hogan's reinstatement in the Hall of Fame. He earlier we posted highlights of where he talked about Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, and how he's a big fan of Roman Reigns and loves his, talked about Roman's dad, and it's really interesting stuff. It's Flair.
Very cool. I'm Glenn Rubenstein. You can find me on Twitter at Glenn Rubenstein. Appreciate a follow. And after tonight, I want you to tweet at BlueChew. They're at GetBlueChew, and let them know about the shenanigans that went down on the Wrestling Inc. podcast.
Please do.
And please do check it out, BlueChew.com, promo code INC to try it for free. And we'll see you back here tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.